Second, we're clear. All right, Joe.
Okay. All right, guys. Good morning. We just want to take a minute to welcome everybody to the International Martial Arts Showcase. Myself, Mr. Brooks. Thank you, Mr. Musto. Please write down your questions or comments in the chat section, or write it down on a piece of paper and save them for the end of the program. We're going to go 25 minutes straight through. Up next on deck is Mr. Musto. So, Mr. Brooks, anything you want to add?
Just want to add once again, thank you, Mr. Musto, and enjoy. Take your notes. Once again, we got a question, and then to the Sunday we got 10 minutes. So prepare your questions, and we're all ready to start. Joe,
you're up, Frank. Good luck.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Francisco. I appreciate the honor of being here and working with with all you guys. You're all near and dear to me, and you guys have changed my Kenpo. So this is a great opportunity for me to kind of show a little of what I've been doing over the last 25, 30 plus years, and bring it into what you guys have taught me. All right. So and then a little bit about myself. I don't want to get too much into the history of what my martial arts are, but I've been training for about 25 years. My initial training was in Tracy's Kenpo. So I had to switch over with my instructor, John Musto. About 2012, we switched over to American Kenpo. So my son, Tony, this is my son, Tony here. We've been training, like I said, in American Kenpo now for about 8 to 10 years. And it's a lot different than Tracy. So my movements might be a little different than American Kenpo, but that's okay. I also switch back and forth. It's like speaking, Italian and English. I switch back and forth in between my sentences with Tracy's Kenpo and American Kenpo. So just I'll show you the movements. The names aren't really that important. So what we're going to do today is we're going to work on more so of footwork. I'm going to try to tie in how we actually make our entry points into our techniques, right? We have all these different techniques, and a lot of times the person just throws that punch, stands there while the person is doing the technique against them, and we know that that's not realistic. So what I like to do is I like to introduce some footwork with you, all right? But before we do that, I want to get started. I just want to show you something here. When my son was really young, he trained in a Japanese style called Shirin-Jiryu Kenyukai Karate-Do. And we did this stretch. And I like to start out the stretch with this. It's not just a stretch. This is really one of my foundations of Kenpo. And even though it's in a Japanese style, it really does change. And I want you to see how this works and how you can tie this stretch into American Kenpo, into your training. All right, you guys all remember, I'm sure, Karate Kid 2, right? Remember Karate Kid 2 when Miyagi was sitting there and he's holding the tenden, the drum, right? The rattle drum, right? And he's doing this. And he says to Danielson, this is the secret of Miyagi-Do family karate. Well, it kind of is, all right? So just watch what I do here. So if you can just move over a little off to your left. So what I have here is I'm in a horse stance, all right? I'm going to turn to the side. Now I'm going to turn to my right, but it's going to be your left. I'm turning to the side, and I'm going from a neutral bow into a forward bow. Then I go back to the neutral, just let your arms dangle. I go back into a neutral, and then I go back into a forward. Now, where does the rattle drum come in? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use this stretch, and we're going to put everything together, all the timing, our backup mass. We're going to use marriage of gravity. We're going to put all that together in this simple kind of stretch to get you guys going. Now, part of my seminar is how we age in Kenpo and martial arts. And this is one way of kind of loosening up the body. But for what we're going to go over today, it's very, very important. So it goes forward bow, neutral, forward. Now I start getting the hands involved. Now, when I turn into my forward bow, my forward hand, as in front, is going to slap my back or my side. As I do that, I push down and I put my heel to the ground. Okay, so I go neutral, keep your arms nice and loose. And notice my rear heel is up. As soon as I turn and I twist, I land down. That gives us that marriage of gravity. It also gives us, with our punches, rotational torque. And I'll talk about that. As we turn, so you're just going to go back and forth. And just kind of simulating that rattle drum, right? Just back and forth. As your heel hits the ground, that is the exact moment that your hand should be hitting the back. Okay, so as we're doing that. Now, how does this work into karate? Well, or into any kind of martial arts at all. Well, watch what happens now. As I come out of it, I rotate from my forward bow into my neutral. There's my punch, right? So I'm turning, and there's my punch. turn. So you're getting that rotational torque on everything that you do. All right? So that's a great stretch to get going, get everybody kind of lined up, that they know exactly what's happening with their arms and their legs. All right, so what I want to work on now is just a simple triangle step. It's going to be the basis of our entry point. Okay, so if you look down at my feet, we're just going to take our foot, we're going to go in a neutral bow, nice and relaxed. We're going to take our left foot, step forward. Go back, front to back switch, right? And go forward with our right. And just go back a couple of times, nice and simple, right? This is very easy. Obviously, everyone can do this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go not only back to front, we're going to go front to back. So as I have this, we're going to go take our foot, we're going to go back this way, right? So we're going to do an opposite triangle. Okay? So just opposite triangle. Okay, so we're doing a back to front and a front to back switch. So now I can do a diamond shape. Now watch the diamond shape. Okay, I go forward, step, diamond shape. So picture a diamond right in front of you, and you're just doing this simple kind of box step. Okay, simple kind of box step. Now, what's going to happen is you can start to get a little bit of fluidity into it. Start getting your legs to move. Start getting a little C-step in there, and you guys can start to see how it's working out, right? So you're going in that diamond shape. Now, the premise of the seminar today is what we call the takeoff, all right? So if I have my left foot forward, so if everybody hits your left foot forward, okay, so get your left foot forward. Now, we're going to do that same front to back switch. Back to front. Now, let's pull in a little Kenpo. I know there's some other people out there in different martial arts. We're going to pull in Kenpo. We're going to go to Form 5, right? In Form 5, when you have a hopping crane, and you're going to switch into sleeper. We go into hopping crane. We come up, we kick, and then we turn, and we come right into our Form 5, right? Now, watch my feet. Okay, my front foot is up in a cat stance. I'm going to slam that heel down. So I slam the heel, and that's going to be my takeoff as I come up underneath and do a range hand for sleeper, right? That's how we come over and we do sleeper. So, with that said, that takeoff is everything to me and my Kenpo. That's how everything I do works into it. So, watch what happens here. Tony's going to zoom in on my feet just slightly just so you guys can see it. That's perfect. Perfect, Tom. So, I'm just doing back to front switch like we did in the beginning, right? So, if you guys are doing this along, that's great. Just back to front switch. Now, I'm going to change it a little bit, very slightly. I'm going to bring it into a cat stance, just like we did in Form 5. Watch. Into my cat. I slam this down just like Form 5 sleeper, and I go forward. Draw it into the cat. Now I'm exaggerating right now. Draw into the cat, push down and go forward. Cat, push down and go forward. Okay, that's my explosiveness. That's where I'm going to get that explosive power from when I start doing my techniques. So we have to start off like this. Okay, then we get a little bit more advanced, right? We get into the sophisticated basics, right? We take this here, we slam down, and we move forward. Just like you're running. Think about if you're going to take off and you're going to run. That's what we're doing. Okay? All right, so you can lift it up a little bit there. All right, so what I want you guys to do is practice that for a few minutes. Just kind of get used to this motion here, and then start to get used to that little takeoff as you're moving, like you're running. Okay, this is what we're going to do next. So if you guys could do that for about a minute, that would be great. Yeah. All right, good. There you go. Nice. Galaxy A50. Is that the area over there? I see you over there. Good job. All right, so now watch what happens now. So we're going to now add in a double brush stroke, right? We're going to add in a double stroke. Boom. So as I do the same move and the same technique, move up slightly, I step, double brush. Come back, step, double brush. Now watch what happens now. I'm going to start adding that footwork in. So now watch the footwork here. Here's my move, and I come underneath. So I get that quick explosive power as I come in and I move. Now this position here, you're going to see I'm ready to do a technique. If I come around, I can come in, I can do flashing wings, right? I can come in here, I can do a crossing talon, I can do anything because I'm already in this position right there, okay? So as we have this situation, Tony's going to come. Here's a great drill. If you have a partner, this is a great drill. I know you guys have probably seen this drill before, but it gets us started into, first we have to do basics with our footwork, then we get our hands in, and then we can use a partner to work on it. If you don't have a partner, you can still do this. So he's going to put his arms out like this, okay? All I'm going to do is I'm going to step just like we did before, double brush. Front to back switch, double brush. Back to front, double brush, and continue. And all we're doing is we're just trying to get that motion and that explosiveness into our movements. So if the person, put your hands down. So as they're actually throwing those punches, you're bobbing and weaving, and you're moving left to right, right to left. And you're getting around. That's going to open us up into a technique. Okay? So for about 30 seconds, just try doing it with a partner if you have it. Just get used to that 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay? So work on that and take a look. There you go, Alejandro. Excellent. Good. There you go. All right. So now we're going to start adding to everything. Everything we're doing is what we call in education, we call it scaffolding. We're starting off really small, and we're slowly building up on everything. Okay? So now, I'm going to use Tony to be my partner. He's going to throw just a simple jab reverse. Okay? Simple jab reverse. Okay, so my right foot is forward. Okay? Tony throws a jab reverse. Jab, reverse. I'm just moving around, just kind of parrying it out of the way, right? Just jab, reverse, jab, reverse, jab, reverse. Now, from that jab, reverse, which is a realistic fight scene, right? That could actually happen. We're going to use that takeoff, that footwork, to throw in some of our strikes. Okay, so watch what I'm going to do it slow first. So Tony throws the jab. I parry it out of the way. He throws the reverse. I parry. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same footwork, and I'm going to throw a finger strike to his groin as I do my switch. Think finger set, right? When you go into finger set, you're here, you're coming underneath, you're throwing your strikes. That's what we're doing now. So he throws the jab, jab. He throws the reverse. As I parry it out of the way, watch what I'm going to do with my footwork and the strike. I switch, and I do the finger strike to the groin. Okay, so I'll do that again. 1, 2, finger strike to the groin. Now, let's do a family grouping. In Kenpo, we're all big about family groupings, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to a punch to the midsection. So same exact move. Jab, reverse, punch to the midsection. Okay, one more time. Jab, reverse, switch the feet, get that takeoff, and punch. Okay, so one more time, a little faster. 1, 2, boom, and pop. Now I can do the same thing. I've gone low, middle, now I go high. So now I'm going to go into sleeper. Okay? So same thing, 1, 2, there's my switch, and there's my move into sleeper, right? Because I check in here, step behind, and take them down, all right? So I'll go through all 3 of those, and I want you guys to practice. Low, medium punch, and then high into sleeper. So jab, slow, 1, 2, switch the feet, get that explosiveness, get that to happen. Don't just do it like step and move. You have to get used to that quick feet. Okay, so jab, reverse, boom, strike to the groin. Jab, reverse, punch to the stomach. Jab, reverse, and go into sleeper. Okay, so practice that for a couple of seconds. Get those feet moving. I don't want to see this, guys, just not this. It's not this. Think 4 and 5. That step when he's here, and I take that, I slam that foot down to the ground, there's my takeoff, all right? If you don't slam that foot down, you'll get your takeoff, but not as much as I want. All right, so give it a couple of seconds on that. Take a look. Good. There you go, Charlie. Great job. There you go. Nice. And keep everything nice and tight. Nice and tight. Okay? Good. So again, what we're trying to do now is to get our entry point. So watch what happens now. Tony's going to come over, and let me make sure we get the angle. Tony comes over, throws his jab reverse. I throw a finger whip. Okay? So he throws jab reverse. I throw that finger whip. Right? His arm's not going to stay out there, most likely. It's just going to be hanging. Because again, you get hit in the groin, you're going to go, oh, like this. So he does jab reverse. I do this. Now, here are my techniques. I can simply come in here, punch hit, boom, pop, boom, and then go right into flashing wings. Come over here, coach. Okay, so he does the same thing. Jab, reverse, flick, come over, pop, and as I break the arm, I strike him in the face, right? From here, boom, pop him with the elbow, come on top, hit, check, and come up there with the strike, all right? So what I want you guys to do now is I want you to practice. If you have a partner, great. If not, just in the air. I do this all the time. 1, 2, switch, finger whip, grab the arm, block, punch him in the face, go into one of our Kenpo techniques. All right, so this is a great entry. You could also do that with crossing talon. Okay? Same thing. Jab, boom, hit him in the punch this time. here's my crossing talent. I can take this, just drop my shoulder into it, break the shoulder. I can go into leap of death, hit, strike, boom, grab, throw down. So that's our entry into some of those techniques. Off of a basic jab, reverse. All right, so practice that a couple of seconds. Let me take a look. There you go. Yeah, so I can see what some of you do. I want you to make sure you kind of exaggerate and go into that cat stance. Exaggerate, push that heel down, and then explode. Okay? So work with that a couple of seconds and we'll move on. Okay? There you go, David. Excellent. There you go. All right. So I'm going to move through this pretty quickly just because I want to get a lot of information. Now, just with that said, if after the seminar is over, if you PM me, or personal message, I guess it's called, send me a message. I'll send you this lesson plan, and I'll send you notes that are based on it. Because whenever I go to a seminar, what I like to do is I like to try to remember it right after the seminar, take some notes. All right? So we're going to move on a little bit more advanced now. Okay, so same start. Everything is the same. Tony throws a jab. Now, right foot's forward. Tony throws the jab. Okay? Same movement. He throws the reverse. Same movement. I'm just kind of bobbing and weaving, ducking, bobbing and weaving. So jab, reverse, right? We always go to the outside. So as you go, boom, I'm here. Now, Tony throws a big hook, a left hook, right? Now, how do we get to our Kenpo techniques from here? Well, we're going to see. We're going to try to get there. So he throws the jab, reverse. Now, he throws a big left hook, cover, and throw a knuckle strike to his bicep. Okay, so watch this. So the movement, jab, reverse, knuckle to the back, to the bicep. All right, so I'm going to just change my angle a little bit. So jab, reverse, check, back fist. All right, now I'm going to turn to the back so you guys can see it from this way. Jab, reverse, check, and then back fist. Okay, so watch what we have here. So again, jab, reverse, back fist. All right, now, we want to make sure that this is up here because if I hit the bicep, he has this part of his hand, right? You guys all know this in Kenpo or any martial art. This part, we don't want to hit here. It's going to hook around, right? We don't want that. So this hand, when I throw the back fist, this has to come up. And now, you always want to move your opponent. You never want your opponent to move you. So I have to make sure that that's a strike, and I kind of move into him, right? Because in a real fight, it's not going to be, just a jab, reverse, hook. It's going to be a lot of different things. So jab, reverse, boom, I want to move into that. Boom, get that body into it, right? Now, from here, this is new information, so listen up. I have this. Here's that switch again. Remember the switch we did before, right? The switch. Boom. Watch where I put the switch in here. Jab, reverse, strike. Now, I want to get my left side forward. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch with that explosive switch. We call it the takeoff. My left hand is going to hit him in the head, put my fingers into his face. If I can get an eye, that's fantastic. And I'm going to give him a concussion strike with my right. Now remember, think about finger set. We do this in finger set, right? We turn, we do this. I want that relaxed motion when you're doing your concussion strike. It's not a big heel palm, right? It's more of just a relaxed concussion strike. So he throws the jab. He throws the reverse. Now I come, boom, I come in there. Now watch, as I switch, the same way before when I switched, I threw the punch, the same thing's going to happen with this hand going to his face. So I go 1, 2, pump. Now watch the footwork. I'm going to go slow first and I'll speed it up. From here, switch. Boom, there's the face, right? From here, here's my concussion strike. Shuffle in, so push in, strike him, that nice relax. Now, hopefully, that should end it enough for you to get out of there, whatever the situation is. If it's law enforcement, right, or if it's a knife and you have a knife on you, you feel real threatened. Here's your opportunity to pull that weapon out. So Tony throws the jab, reverse. I see it coming. I throw that back strike. I switch. There's my strike. Here's my concussion strike. He's going to go back a little bit. Nice and relaxed. Look at my hand. Nice and relaxed. Like think Tai Chi, right? Think Tai Chi. Boom, I strike. He goes back. This is my opportunity to keep my hand out, feel down, step back, pull out my weapon, and draw if I need to, or if I have my knife, step back. All right? So let's do that one more time on this side. Jab, reverse, boom. Switch, hit him in the face. Get that hand ready. Pop him, step back, and I have this. If it's a police officer, you have your weapon, or if you're in a situation where you have your knife, that's your opportunity to grab. Okay? So I want you to practice that. Let's go through it together real slow. Jab, knock the jab out of the way. reverse, not the reverse, move your head, bob and weave, right? Jab, reverse, back knuckle to the bicep, covering up here with your head. Now, as I switch to get this heel palm into his face, get that switch, but don't just step through. Not 1, 2, 3, step through. It's an in-place switch. 1, 2, boom. There's my motion. Shuffle in, pop them. Keep this hand out to protect, step back, and if you have your weapon, you can draw it at that point. Or, what if he throws another punch? Could happen, right? So Tony's over here on this side. Jab, reverse, back fist. I switch, boom. Tony's 6'2", 250 pounds. I might not be able to knock him back anymore, right? So I hit him, boom, he goes back a little bit. He has his right and his left. He throws the right. Look at my position. He throws the right. Here's the drill. I'm right there into my techniques. So I have that. If he throws a hook, this is something maybe you guys have not seen before. Watch this. Jab, reverse, back, switch. Now here's my concussion strike. Boom. Tony throws a big hooking right, but my right foot is forward. Think 5 swords with my left foot forward. Watch this. He throws the left, the right, but my wrong foot is forward, right? Because I just went here, he throws that. I'm going to do 5 swords with my opposite leg forward using that switch. Watch this. He throws the punch. This might be my reaction. My reaction might be, I hit him. What the hell happened? I didn't hit this guy hard enough. He comes back. He throws, boom, I block, right? Now, from this position, I throw my chop. When I throw my heel palm, I do my switch, that back to the front to back switch with the explosive power. Watch this. Do it from the beginning. 1, 2, pop him, switch, concussion strike, boom. He throws that big punch, boom, I get that. Now from this position, chop, watch my heel palm, there's my switch. Now I'm in exactly the same position that I can come back and work on my 5 swords, all right? What I can also do is I can do a jump switch to get back into 5 swords. Watch this. So jab, reverse, back, switch, boom, protect over here. Concussion strike. He throws the big punch, boom, I drop it. I can come from here, hit, hit. Now to get my punch, I just do an in-place jump switch. And there's my jump switch, right? So you can either do a front to back switch, a back to front switch, or a jump switch, right? So work on that. So let's go through the drill slow. Okay, so it's jab, reverse, back knuckle. In place switch, get that explosive power. Boom, from there. Concussion strike, hit. Now, in your mind, or if you have a partner, he throws a left punch. Get into the same drill we were doing before, right? There's your drill. Go into a technique. Okay? He throws the left punch. Now we have that. If we go with the left punch, we're going to switch our technique. Watch this. All right, so jab, reverse, strike. Here's the move. Pop. I got him now. Now I have something. I want to, at this position, guys, I can go right into parting wings, right? I'm in parting wings right here. Boom. I can come up, boom, pop him and do the rest of parting wings. So there's my opening. Watch this, ready? So, jab, reverse, pop him. I do my switch. I give him a concussion strike. Boom, he goes back. Now he throws his left hook punch, right? Before he threw his right, I did 5 swords. Now he does his left. Now watch what I do here. I do a switch, and I go right into the start of shielding hammer. Watch. He comes here. Boom, there's my switch. And I go right into that. All right, so watch that again. Try it on this side. Jab, reverse, back knuckle, in place switch, get him open, concussion strike, he goes back. Watch my feet switch as he throws that punch. Boom, I'm right in the same spot now, and now I can go and do my technique. All right, so it gives us that switch, that front to back switch, gives us so many opportunities to do something different. This position, I can go low, medium, high. I can do pretty much anything I want with that. Okay? So I want you guys to practice that. So jab, reverse, back knuckle, in place switch, shuffling concussion strike. If he throws the left punch, you're in a perfect double parry position. You can come right into left wings. Or if he throws the left punch, just do that back to front switch. Come in, hit, you go into another technique. All right, so I'll give you guys about a minute to work on that. I know it's a lot of information. Good, there you go. Get the footwork, get the footwork. Nice, Charlie, good. I want to see that footwork. Get that explosive power. Just that explosive power is going to make it work. There you go. Again, we're trying to get these entry points into techniques because, listen, guys, I've been to hundreds of seminars. I've gone all over the country. I've gone all over. A lot of our seminars that we go to are fantastic, and what they are is just their version of something, which is great. I always pick up something. You know, when I teach, what I like to do is I like to make sure that every level, I don't care if you're a white belt or a 10th degree black belt, picks one thing that they can use. All right? So we're going to stop, take a nice deep breath. We're going to move on. All right. One of the things that happens is as we get older, right, our body starts to break down a little bit. So what happens is a technique like triggered salute, right? If we do a triggered salute, and I step in, I pin hit, right? That's one of our key components, pin hit. When I come down and I do the elbow, and I do one elbow, and then I do the back knuckle, it's very hard for me with torn rotator cuffs and all those injuries to hit the back fist, come back, change my momentum, and do that strike. I know a lot of you guys have, because I've spoken at every seminar, we talk about it. It's real hard to get that pin hit, pull down, elbow, back knuckle, and then change direction immediately, and then get that up there to give any kind of power. All right, so what I want you guys to try is I want you to try something a little different. If Tony was to grab my wrist, right, and hopefully you guys know this, but if Tony grabs my wrist, for me to get out, remember, Tony's 250 pounds, real strong. If I try to pull out from here, it's not going to happen because I'm, okay? But if I switch it and I turn and pull my elbow, watch how easy this is. I pull it right out. Okay, so Tony, same grip. I'm going to pull here with my hand. I pull out. It's not coming. I'm not pulling. This is the worst thing to get into this kind of thing, especially for females, all right, or especially these people that are a lot smaller that are being pulled by somebody. You can't do this. They're going to pull you right away. So what I want you to think is take that elbow and just bend it at the elbow and pull from your elbow, all right? Now, the reason why I say that, we're going to do opposites in reverse, right? Because Francisco, I know he always talks about 4 tenets, or really 5 tenets, but body alignment, body contouring, point of origin, opposites and reverse, and all put together through timing, right? So we talk about that all the time. Now, let's go back to triggered salute, okay? I come here, pin hit. So triggered salute is he grabs me. Okay, out of here. Sorry. He grabs, and I'm going to just pin hit. It could be a grab, it could be a push. I pin, and I strike, right? So there's my pin hit. I come down, I pull this down to get his head forward. As it comes forward, I elbow, elbow. Now here's the back knuckle strike. How much power are we going to get on this little back knuckle strike? It's about, I don't know, 12 inches, right? It's not going anywhere. But if I use my elbow, and I pull my elbow, let me turn the angle, towards my body, and I just snap it towards my body, the hand actually will project up to the next strike. So watch this. As I come here, I pin hit, pull down, elbow, elbow. Instead of using this as my focal point by pulling down, I take my elbow, I pull it into my body. It sets up the next strike. Watch how, if you try this, it just explodes up towards the next strike. Watch. See this? Instead of doing one, stopping and trying to get power on that, this here, this back knuckle, when it hits by pulling my elbow into my body, it actually projects and propels that image, that hand right up into the next strike. All right? That's something that really changed the way I think about Kenpo because, guys, listen, I'm 53, going to be 54 soon. My body, I have 2 torn rotator cuffs. When I come over here and throw that back knuckle strike and try to use my shoulder, my body, even if I use, rotational torque, I have to stop this to change direction, right? But if I pull my elbow into my body and make it go quick, that strike just explodes right up, okay? So elbow into the body will make it explode. So I do my elbow, here's my back knuckle, pull the elbow right into the body. You should hear it actually hit your body, and then it explodes. So down, in, pull it in, and watch it explode right up. All right? Let's try it this way. What time we got? So 5, so 40. Okay. So I pull this in and I pop it up. So 1, 2, pull it down. Like think like chicken wing, right? Like think you're going chicken wing, and it pops right up. All right. So just work with that a few seconds. I think that's really something that I'd like you guys to kind of walk away going, wow, okay, I don't have to use all the strength and all the muscles that I have because they are starting to age and deteriorate. If I pull this in, this just explodes right up. All right, so practice that a few seconds. So triggered salute, pin hit, right? Master, T-master technique. Down, elbow, elbow. Now, when you're going to throw that back knuckle, not a lot of power here. Pull that elbow in, and this just explodes right. Mary, that was perfect. All right, so that's real important. Pull this in, and it's just going to explode right up. And then again, if you want to, then you can finish off the technique by doing whatever you guys learned. All right, so let's move on. Now, one more thing to go over. So we're going to go over a technique that I think a lot of you guys know, clutching feathers, right? Damien Abbott did a great demonstration a couple of weeks ago on, the kind of pull and you hit. It's kind of silly. No one's actually coming up to you and grabbing your hair and going to hit you like that. But think about the movement. If I think I go 1, 2, maybe I do the back fist, and then he tries to grab me, then I can absolutely see just doing that middle knuckle strike, right? Coming up here and then turn. Watch this right here. If you know clutching feathers, right? Here's my movement down. Instead of looping back knuckle, I pull this in, and there's the strike. Now, from here, watch this. From here, I do my next step. I don't know if a lot of you know this. This depends on the lineage that you have for the extension. I know a lot of extensions just end right there. My lineage, the extension goes 1, 2, reverse. I pull that elbow in, and I strike. Step forward, strike, knee, grab, hammer, and then turn. So I don't know if you guys know that extension. But where's it tying in? Here's the tie-in. Elbow, there's the tie-in, right? So that's the elbow tie-in. As we get older, we want to do that. Boom. Now, when I come over here and I'm going to turn my angle. When I come over here and I do my head smash, watch the same footwork. We're going to loop this whole thing around from the beginning all the way to the end. Watch this. When I do this footwork and this foot lands, that heel lands, that's when the knee comes up. Don't do 1, 2, get your head smashed, and then have to project this knee up using every muscle in your body. That's going to be hard. But if I do 1, and as soon as this lands, that knee comes up immediately. Boom, that's the knee I'm looking for. Okay? So I come over, but as soon as this lands, boom, that's what I want. There's no power involved in that. There's nothing. It's just a matter of proper body alignment and proper body movement. So I'll go from this angle. We'll go from the beginning. 1, 2. Pull that elbow in. 3, 4. Now watch. Elbow, and then as soon as this lands, boom, get that knee in, and then you can finish off the technique as we go. All right? Think, Tony, come in. Gift of destruction. Right? Person shakes your hand. You grab their arm, you step, and you throw that knee. That takes a lot of power to do that, especially with someone Tony, right? He has a handshake, and I'm here, grab, knee, strike. That's going to be hard. But think back to when that heel hits the ground. Watch the difference. I don't even have to move. I lift this foot up, right? See that there? I lift this up. And as I drop this heel, that knee comes up. So here's the move. It's not grab, step, knee. It's just lift this up, drop it, and there's my movement, okay? We can do that on other techniques. Take conquering shield, okay? Come on this side. Conquering shield. He grabs, okay? Come over here and I hit. Instead of stepping here and kicking and hitting, I lift this foot up and I drop my weight. Watch what happens here. I'll do it slow. See this? That's the movement. It's this movement right here. I drop it, and that's my move, right? I don't want to pin and strike this way. I want to pin, hit, and drop my body weight so I have that momentum. All right, so we do it on this side as well. So he has it here. If I pin, just drop your weight. So to drop my weight and lift this foot up, and there's my motion. It automatically propels that forward that I can come down on top of it, all right? So just kind of wrapping it up. Let's go back to the very, very beginning. Very beginning. Just simply step. We're going to go through this rapid quick. I have like a minute and a half, not even. Here, right? Now, get the jump swing, get the explosiveness off that. Now start to get that move. Okay, we're just wrapping up what we already did. Now try to do the triangle. 1, 2. Now picture the triangle in front. 3, 4, push back, and just work this motion. Try to get your hands involved. right? Because this is all of your entry points right here. This is where we take Kenpo to a new level, is we can start putting the real application of self-defense into there, all right? Okay, now, I think I'm about done, but I want to just talk one quick thing. So recently I've been working with the Guardian Angels, and I've been in the city. We've been in a lot of altercations, right? I'm going to just be honest, there's a lot of altercations. We've always said we'd like to fight. If I had a choice between fighting somebody, I would much rather fight a black belt than a white belt, right? So I'm here. We've always had this. Nobody's throwing punches like this. With emotionally disturbed people in the city, they're literally coming at you from every different angle. You have to be able to bob and weave, switch those feet, get out of those moves, come over here and actually make your moves on that. Right? So don't rely on a perfect right punch to do flashing wings, right? It doesn't happen. But if we get used to the movement, jab, reverse, switch, boom, pop, now from here, I know I can go front to back, and I can constantly move, and can get my motion here, all right? So that is the seminar. Work on your footwork. I think it's the most important thing. Speak to any boxer. They're going to tell you footwork is everything. Let's use these simple movements, right, to get those Kenpo techniques to make them really work, all right? Yes. Guys, thank you, Tony. I appreciate Tony being here, helping me out. Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun. It's always good to see some familiar faces.
Okay, guys. If you have any questions, we're gonna have about 10 minutes. Nelson, did you have a question?
Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you, Nelson.
Okay. Basically, you said you come back crazy. Maybe there's another footwork.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you again, most of you are Kenpo people, some are not. But if you think, let's take, all right, let me think off the spot. All right, so let's take form 3, long form 3, right? In long form 3, we're doing parting wings, right? So we have our switch here, right? Now what happens is, how do we get now to the other side? We take our rear back to front switch, come up, and now we go off to the other side there. And we also have that in the technique. We're coming here and doing our punching. We're stepping through and doing the punch that way as well. So I think if you guys really look into your forms and into your techniques, you're going to see where you can make those changes, or where you can not change. Let me rephrase that. Just add something to it. All right. Again, when I go to a seminar, I just want to pull one thing from that seminar that I can take back, that I can use. So again, that takeoff, we call it, where that front to back and that real takeoff, that's the motion. That's something now that as I teach it, I can go to each individual person and say, okay, you have your your front to back switch, but you're not doing that explosive movement, which is what I'm looking for. All right. But I think, again, look at your forms, Nelson, and see, there's, boom, parting wings, boom. Now here comes my back to front, and there's my back to front switch. Now, when you watch people do it, I do it the same way too, because sometimes I get a little lazy like everybody else. I'm back here, right? Instead of doing one and then coming back, why don't we come over here and then do that, boom, that nice, real quick switch to show, oh, there's the power. There it is, boom, and there's my motion in that spot, all right? So again, I think if you look at your forms, look at your techniques, and try to figure out where you can put that, the front to back switch, the back to front switch, but by using the takeoff, right? Because we all know how to do this. Everybody can do this, It's kind of very similar. I call it, my teaching, I call it the Kenpo Dance, right? So the Kenpo Dance is basically this, right? You'll be stars in the dance floor at the next wedding. You actually can attend in person, right? Here's the dance, the Kenpo Dance, right? Now, how do I use this in my techniques? Well, flashing wings, right? Here, there's the one, right? I do the second one. I come in. I come back in the third. So in flashing wings, 1, 2, 3. So that simple Kenpo Dance, where can I incorporate that? In Kenpo also, what do we have? We have destructive knee, right? So we're coming in with destructive knee, boom, pop. So there's the Kenpo Dance. If you think about where you can incorporate that with the Kenpo Dance, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to buckle their leg. So as I come in here, if Tony comes in and he throws the right punch, he's going to do, move over this way. Yeah. He throws the right punch, I come in, I want to attack that leg. That's why I said move the person, don't let them move you. So if I'm here and I see it coming, boom, I'm going to attack that leg. Now watch on the next one. I come in, I attack that leg again, right? Here's my elbow, boom. And now in the last strike, I take that and I attack the leg that way, getting it down, and then boom, I got my strike. So anything you learn in any seminar, see how you can incorporate that into your training. These seminars are not meant to change your Kenpo. They're literally just meant to take something, pull it back into whatever martial arts you're training in, and say, oh, okay, I really now get the idea of that double brush parry and switch. Boom, I can see the bob and weave. I can see hitting that, and that switch, concussion strike. So maybe you can pull that into some of your techniques.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Dustin. Any other questions, guys? No, we all good?
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Professor David. So the only thing I just want to say, guys, is this, just to end it. I am blessed. I have an amazing family, amazing kids. I have great coworkers. I have a blessed life. I want you guys to understand that this doesn't happen alone, right? My instructor, John Musto, he's been my personal instructor for about 17 years now. Then I met Francisco. Through Francisco, I met Joe. I met David Steyer. I met Damian Abbott. These guys are all changing my Kenpo. Right, making me better at what I do. So if you work all by yourself and you don't go to these different seminars, you're going to kind of stay in the same rut that you're in, and you're going to do the same way a technique was done 35 years ago. All right, Kenpo has changed, as well as all other martial arts. Go to seminars, support people, and really learn and understand and have some fun. All right? Thank you, guys. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much. One more time, thank you very much.
That was
what we're gonna do
tremendous
right
seminar.
now is
Tremendous seminar. Great job, Frank.